as Pelosi continues to eat her Dove bars and do nothing, and Biden plays a corpse, by all means, let's keep blaming President Trump for everything that's going wrong in America. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, April the 19th, and what's going on, everybody? Well, another crazy week on the street, and we'll talk about that in our market section, but certainly wasn't it thrilling to see Nancy Pelosi's freezer and all of her chocolate ice cream? God forbid they should be passing a bill and taking care of the next set of funding. Not that I'm in a big agreement with the funding, but God forbid they should actually do something in Congress before their term is up. I mean, they have done a great job at trying to get Kavanaugh not in as a Supreme Court justice. They have done a great job at trying to impeach the president. They have done a great job of being in the middle of all this crap. But yet, here we are, okay? And we can't get one simple bill passed to help small business. Well, we did get 25 or 250 million for the Kennedy Center, whatever that number was. I mean, gee, we had that had to be, that was an absolute must, okay? But of course, let's keep saying what a wonderful job that they're doing on the left, considering that they've had the Congress and have not done one thing to actually help America since they've been there, okay? Unless you consider trying to impeach the president, a benefit which obviously failed. It was actually ignorant when it was done in the first place. But God forbid we should have anything of that nature to change. And of course, Joe Biden continues to stay in his basement looking like the corpse that he is. Can't remember where he is half the time. But let's get him to be the next president of the United States. And maybe he'll deal with this. Maybe he'll get his son to get on another board who's already on a board in China and stay there. Okay? So we've got the whole mess out of China, the COVID virus, the coronavirus, COVID-19, that continues to get run rampant through America, as it does look like it may be starting to shut down, and as we do look like we might see the possibility of some reopenings. Now, again, we have, obviously, all states have not been dramatically affected. Certainly, New York and California and some of the more dense population places have been very much affected. But at the end of the day, okay, the big question I have is why don't we hear the news? Now, we heard about Wuhan, and we heard about, a lot of China, and of course, suddenly they have revised their overall death count and a few other things. But why was there no real news out of Peking or Beijing, or Shanghai? Did they not suffer from the virus at all? I mean, we didn't hear a lot about those two major big cities that are as busy and as packed as anywhere. So, the real question is did this virus get out by accident? Was it accidentally on purpose? Was the jailing and the murdering of the scientists and doctors that wanted to report on this, was that an accident? Okay. Or was this almost like a dirty bomb? I don't know. I mean, certainly the question needs to be asked. Okay. Why wasn't this, as Barney Fife used to say, nipped in the bud at the beginning when there was a chance to contain it? Okay. So somewhere here, something doesn't make a lot of sense. But certainly you could make the case that it was done intentionally, and it was let loose intentionally as they stopped travel within China, but they let travel go out of China. So what does it mean? And again, I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just asking, I think, a legitimate question. And is somebody who would love to see the president out and be ousted, okay, behind this? Is there, in other words, is there more to this story than we're hearing? We obviously know the devastation to our economy, okay, here. That we know, right? There are probably, I mean, I don't have a number, but I would guess probably 60 to 65% of your local restaurants will never come back again. Okay, they'll come back with new ownership at some point. Probably 40 to 50% of your local small businesses will never come back again. So was this a way to create mass destruction again? Was this China's way of trying to, blow up the United States economy? Again, I don't have those answers. It certainly begs the question, and certainly there is one very powerful American who is a pretty nasty person. I won't get into names, but who I certainly would not be surprised if he were behind this whole thing, and this was actually orchestrated, okay, to get it out. Okay, and again, I'm not accusing, and I'm just speculating with my Bubba's Bottom Line listeners and watchers. Hi, everybody, and just asking the question. Okay, we've obviously seen worse in history, so this wouldn't be like something that was, totally outrageous. Okay, I mean, I don't know. Is it the wet market? Is it not the wet market? Again, there's a lot of things out there that it could be, but certainly the real question is, could it have been stopped? And I think if China wouldn't have hit it, it could have been stopped. Okay, long before it got here, long before it shut down. Now, obviously, from China's aspect, if you're trying to become the world power, there was a lot of advantage for you to have the United States shut down. Now, the other problem is of course, the World Health Organization, who just seems to lean, no matter what decision they make, it seems to lean to China. Okay, and I don't understand. I thought they were supposed to be, the United States is only the biggest contributor, and I am glad. And I don't care about that. That's during the pandemic. I'm glad that President Trump is pulling the financing from the World Health Organization. Okay. Again, these organizations are garbage. There are money-sucking pigs that continue to take money and don't do anything. Okay. So why should we continue to give them money to do nothing? Okay. Except help, our adversaries. All right. China, we used to do a lot of business with China. So they're not an enemy, but they're certainly not a friend. Okay. So, again, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on here. And we already know that China wants to become the world power. What better way to become the world power than to disable your chief competitor to become that world power? Hey, listen, it's a thought, right? But what you see now, okay, is the debt bomb is starting to explode. Now, again, I'm not, as you know, or maybe you don't know, but I am not a big fan of the Federal Reserve. As I've said for months, they would be the cause of this eventual collapse. And here they are in full color, doing their thing, collapsing the markets with every stupid move they make. And of course, now we've only printed twice as much money now than we did in 2008. Okay, we had banks that are in struggle condition. Now, they won't admit to it. Of course, we have these wonderful set of stress tests, which is a bunch of bull. Okay, but you can bet your ass these banks are over leveraged once again. You can bet your ass that there's going to be problems here once again. Okay, and this problem in this country is only begun. Okay, from that standpoint. But you're going to see, you already had, before any of these problems came, you had major auto debt that was already delinquent. You had record numbers. You had mortgage debts that were already in trouble. Now, who's paying their mortgage now? Who's paying rent? And what's going to happen to the landlords? There are so many ramifications back from what's going to happen here. And again, obviously, landlords that can afford to carry people, they'll carry them. Again, nobody's trying to hurt people and get them out, but there are certain people that, that buy properties, build them up, and are on a shoestring budget too, that can't afford to miss the rest payment because they've got a mortgage payment that's depending on that rent payment. So again, I think that this just shows you how little the government cares about you and me, okay, as they continue to abuse and destroy every tax dollar that we pay them. Now, again, you can say I'm wrong. I mean, listen, I've been wrong before. This won't be the first time. But again, they continue to build massive amounts of debt, or as they say, the government is robbing Peter to pay Paul, okay, or robbing Paul to pay Peter, either way. But whoever they're robbing, the other one will be there to take care of the tax bill. And that will continue to pay them and continue to make it good. And of course, basically, the middle class will continue to foot the bill for all this crap and stuff that is going on. Okay. Now, again, at some point, wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be nice to see just the free markets work? And if a company can't make it, okay, they'll go out of business. Companies go out of business every single day. There are bankruptcies every single day. But no, let's continue with the world's largest legalized Ponzi scheme, okay, because we could do it, and if we did it, we'd be in jail. But of course, because it's the Federal Reserve, that phony corporation that is controlled and manipulated by a few bankers, okay, and the Congress, let's continue to let them steal all the money, okay? Let's wait till they get into the digital currency, which is you can bet it's next, okay? You can bet digital currency is next. And you know what that means, right? It means that the government has who you are, what you do, and what you exist from the minute you come out to the minute you go into the box. They know everything you've done, okay? Do you really want to have that? So let's sacrifice the rest of our civil liberties. Let's sacrifice all privacy so that Uncle Sam can track us at every moment of every day of all time. Okay? Isn't that what we want? Okay. Is it not enough we signed over ourselves so far? I mean, at some point, I hope Americans will step up and realize that the current system sucks. Okay. Whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. I mean, right now, the Democrats suck. They're left and they're getting too far left. Okay. But through years, there's been plenty of times the Republicans. When are we going to get back to down the middle, okay, and understanding that we can't keep screwing the American people forever? At some point, it's got to run out. But of course, this will go on because nobody's going to step up because, geez, they need to be elected to those jobs so they can continue to steal their money, make those horrible deals all over the world, these trade deals and whatever, that they're all getting a piece of the action on somewhere. You know there's a snarky deal everywhere, okay? And again, and I'm not just blaming Hunter Biden. There's a million other stories in Naked City of all these crappy deals that were made in different parts of the world, okay? Or even right here, that's got somebody's name on it who's getting a payday, okay? That's simple, okay? So let's not kid each other and say that it doesn't happen. And of course, what do we get going in Illinois? The only place where every other governor goes to jail, and now we get this dope Pritzker, okay, begging for money to take care of the pensions. But now, of course, they haven't taken care of the pensions since, I think, 1999. But now let's beg for money 21 years later. Or better yet, you've got the guys, the hedge funds and the big money funds looking for some of this PPP money to keep their employees on. It's not that they don't already have everything else going their way and a special tax, the way they pay taxes, but yeah, let's give them some more free money, okay, so they can screw us some more. Okay, again, I think that this is just laughable, okay, and of course, we just had an unprecedented drop in retail sales. Now, again, that's totally expected. I mean, again, truthfully, I expect 99% of retail to go online anyways. I mean, I'm not at all surprised. But of course, it is shocking to the system that we did have this big drop or unprecedented drop in retail sales. But why should we be surprised? You can't go out, you can't shop. So who's going to benefit? Amazon, Walmart, and any other online process. In the meantime, it is a mess. It is a crock, and we'll figure it out. And we'll be back. We're going to step out here for a break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, April the 19th. We're step out here for break. We'll be right back after the break. What's up, kids? Hey, yesterday I did a great webinar on our equity portfolio management. And certainly, if you'd like to take advantage of it, you'd like to see the webinar, great. You can email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. And I will tell you this right now, this product will be not offered after this week. It's it. I'm shutting it down after this week, and that will be where it goes. If you're interested, great. If not, hey, no worries. Again, I don't care one way or the other. Okay. If you want to check it out, great. If not, hey, so be it. In the meantime, don't forget about our brokerage partners. You know, CTG, who handles all our commodities and handles all of our letter direction trading. Okay, great operation. Okay, you got a problem, and they'll call you right away. If you want to talk to them, they're on the phone. There is no voicemail to deal with. Okay, and certainly they're great. They do a great job, and I certainly hope that you want to check them out. And they got some great new products, and of course, Tradier, who has got great customer service as well, and who has got 0% zero commissions. Okay, just a $10 a month flat fee. I mean, how can you beat that? Okay, so those are two great places for you. If you're trading, please check them out. If you want some information, I will send you a special link. Just email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. And of course, don't forget about our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. If you want to help us out, we're getting ready for the next school season because obviously this year is over. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with your host, Todd Bubba Horwitz. Oh, I guess that's me. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, April the 19th, and well, I guess there is no bad news when it comes to Wall Street, right? And that's always the key, okay? And that's always something for you to think about, okay? And I try to stress that message to you all the time. Unfortunately, there are many who have cotton in their ears, never understood effective listening, okay? And always want to make me look like the bad guy, when all I do is give you my exact positions, okay? Yes, I have an opinion. My opinion may vary from what my position is, but my position will always be based on the algorithm, not based on my opinion. So, but again, listen, we know the world is full of trolls. We know that some people just can't get it, so they have to whine and complain about something, okay? So, when I do my show, it happens to be me, and that's fine. Listen, you know what I tell them, and it ain't happy birthday, okay? In the meantime, markets exploded again. Exploded. They were up big, okay? And of course, certainly late in the week, you had Gilead Sciences come out with a drug. Thursday was kind of a dull, dreary day, and we're down. Started to make a little bit of move up. Now, the NASDAQ was very strong on Thursday, but the rest of the markets were very weak. And then right after the 3:15 Chicago close or 4:15 New York close, bang, news came out. They exploded higher. And then overnight, they were up even more. And then, interesting enough, they looked horrible on Friday. And the NASDAQ actually turned from up like 200 points to down for a little while before closing up almost 100. Again, obviously, a very jittery market. But I think the biggest takeaway for markets is the lack of liquidity, which in itself creates these air pockets, which in itself creates these much bigger moves. Because remember, okay, if there's nothing in the way to stop it, if there's no resistance sellers when they're going up or no support buyers when they're going down, they go faster. So if you get a big order, it pushes the market much faster. So we call them air pockets, okay? And that happens all the time. Now, we remain long. Okay. If somebody needs me, I'll spell it out, or maybe I get a sign to say that we're long. We remain long. We've been long. We will remain long. And again, I will not be changing, okay, at least until Tuesday. Okay. So I will be long at least through Tuesday. And obviously, if we keep going up, I'll continue to be long. Okay. But again, do I love it? No, I don't love it. But again, should I get in front of it? Should I give the Mack truck a kiss as it's trying to run me over? I don't think so. Okay. I mean, again, the key in trading, investing, is to be with the path of least resistance and not try to use your opinion, which, like mine, is worth bupkis. Okay. Because opinions are like blank. We all got one. Fill it in. Okay. So again, I don't think we should be up in these lofty levels, but again, I'm not going to argue. I'm going to take the money and put it in my pocket and say, thank you very much. Okay. Bond markets, they had a pretty choppy week, but they're working higher again. Okay. So, which means interest rates continue to work their way lower. And, listen, can we go to zero? Of course you can go to zero. We can go, listen, one thing we know for sure. Okay. There's no limit to where they can go. They can go to zero. They can go to, they go to negative. Okay. Again, you've got a Federal Reserve that has totally lost their mind. Okay. That doesn't care. Okay. Whatever it takes. Well, again, whatever it takes puts you in a crapper. Whatever it takes is going to put us in a bigger depression. Again, one thing I know for sure, if you just rip the Band-Aid off, it feels a lot better at the end of the day than trying to continue to, ease it off, and hope that it doesn't get infected. When the way the Fed's going to do it, you're going to have a major infection. When you just rip it off, it's all over. And of course, the Fed, as you know, I think is clueless, as tits on a bull, as they say. And again, this is going to be a disaster when it's all said and done. All this free money is never going to help. But in the meantime, interest rates could go negative, and they just might do that. Okay. The metals, they had a little bit of a rough end of the week last week, but they're still in bullish territory. I mean, they actually acted it as they stood. Gold made a new high up at 1788 and then pulled back. Silver and platinum both went to resistance and pulled back. Now, they're still bullish. We're still long across the board, and we are long the bonds. Okay. And we'll see where we go from here. The dollar continues to hover around that par mark, which was our original call way back when, if you remember. Okay. Now, again, we're short the dollar right now. Now, again, it's been in a wide chopping range. Again, we'll see. Look, the Fed is trying to do everything they can to manipulate that dollar lower. But that dollar is a fear asset that money will flow to globally for protection. So again, that's obviously what you're seeing, because you get the Fed continuing to try to punish the dollar, and yet they can't get it down. Okay. Copper, we're still long, is higher. Okay. Or we're not, apologize, we're not still long. We reversed last week. You had gas, we're long, we reversed last week. So again, we're in pretty good shape. Okay. Had a pretty good week. And of course, when you go to the meats, okay, and you go to the grains, obviously we have a major problem here. There's a major problem in the supply chain. Okay. With all these factories and slaughterhouses shutting down, what that's really doing is it's killing the consumer, because if you can find meat in your box, in your fresh section, whatever you call it, the butcher shop, okay, if you can find it, it's unbelievably expensive. Okay. Unfortunately, because of course, not accusing anybody or saying anything, but of course, we know the people that own it, that are wholesaling it, are ripping them off. Okay. Because they're going to explode prices, because you can't get it now, because there's a blockage between that supply chain between farm and store. Okay. And of course, farmers are choking on this merchandise because the inventory continues to build. Okay. Especially in hogs. The feed bills continue to go higher, even though grains are cheap. But again, the feed bills are going to the roof. Okay. And of course, here we are with nowhere to go. Okay. So obviously there's a big bottleneck there that is really hurting. And again, it's brutal if you're the wholesaler, if you're the farmer. because they need to get that cash flow going. They need to keep turning those over. They don't want to continue to sit there. They're not making these into pets. So it's a problem. And of course, obviously, it's a bigger problem in hogs. Smithfields shut down. Of course, the Chinese company, why wouldn't they shut down? No, I'm sure there's COVID, but they are a Chinese company, which I don't know how Obama let China buy one of our key elements in our food chain. But again, that's a story for another day. Okay. But again, the meats continue to get ripped, and it just, look, I believe that at some point here, I'd love to be a buyer. Okay. I heard something yesterday that somebody was puking out about 80% of their cattle. That tells me that it's probably a buying opportunity. But again, we're still short, although I'm dying. I'm itching. I got an itchy trigger finger. I want to buy. Okay. I want to get in there. All right. So we'll see. Okay. And of course, the grains, we're now short grains across the board. We were long wheat. We were long soybeans for a while, and it didn't work out well. Okay. And of course, we're short across the board. I mean, corn at these levels just seems to be totally ridiculous. It's actually cheaper than it was when I made a huge purchase in 1998. Okay, true story. Corn was so ridiculously cheap in 1998. It was about $1.98. And if you take out the ethanol value, okay, it's actually cheaper today. I mean, 22 years later, I don't know. So again, obviously, our poor farmers are getting shellacked. And I think one of the bigger problems is not only are they getting shellacked on their crops, not only getting shellacked on their livestock, but their property values are not rising. They're probably going down with the current environment, which is not, they're not hitting a good trifecta here, I would say. And of course, this could create major problems down the road. Okay. Now, I do think that, again, I will stay short with the algorithms, but I do think that if I were going to take a shot, it would certainly be in corn at these levels. Okay. I mean, again, if you remember that first of all, commodities in general, but grains as well, they're not affected by earnings or news, things like that. I mean, there's news, but they're not affected by anything outside other than truly supply and demand. I mean, again, at these levels, the whole contract's only worth about $16,000. I'm going to put it away. I would be putting it in my own silo right now. Okay. That's what I'd be looking for. So again, we'll see what happens. Again, our positions, where we stand. And, again, obviously the markets are thin. They're not very liquid. So there's not a lot for me to be excited about. There's not a lot for me to say, hey, we really got to get in here. We really got to pound in, right? We got to get involved. So, I don't see anything that's making me anything too excited. Now, again, listen, this will change. This isn't the first time. Okay. And I think that President Trump is doing a terrific job trying to stay in front of this and trying to get in front of all this. And listen, we know he's going to say what he thinks. And certainly I don't disagree with many of the things he says. So again, we'll see what happens. Again, we'll see what happens during the week. Again, I can't, I don't predict. I'm just telling you, kind of what I think. So let's step out here for a break, and we're going to come back with my commentary right after the break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bob Horowitz. We'll be right back. So kids, yesterday, great webinar, equity portfolio management. Great webinar, okay, and great gains. If you want to check it out, please do, okay. It's available for another 2-3 days, and then it's gone forever, okay. So if you want to check it out, just email me at bubba@bubbatraining.com. I'll send you. It's a free webinar. You can watch it, okay. And of course, don't forget about our brokerage partners. Tradier brokerage for equities, free brokerage. How can you beat free? Okay. Instead of paying 65 cents or whatever you're paying anywhere else you're going, no matter what they say, free, really free, $10. Okay. They do a great job. Obviously, if you trade any volume at all, you want to be there. And of course, don't forget about our commodities and futures brokerage at CTG Group. They do a great job as well. And of course, great customer service. They've got some great new products, handle all of our letter of direction trading. Who could ask for more? So if you want information, either one of those two, just email me at bubba@bubbatraining.com. I'll send you their links. And of course, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Horse, and it is, of course, I have to bitch. Maybe I bitched the whole time, but this is official. This is where I get to comment on some of the things I'm seeing, and I did open up the show with the moron Pelosi, okay, that has an interviewer, and she's showing her ice cream in her freezer as her district is the #1 district for homeless, okay? She's showing her expensive ice cream that they have to talk. That's what we're talking about now. That's what we've been reduced to, is talking about ice cream, okay? Instead of talking about taking care of the homeless in her own street, okay? Or the problems that are going on in the nation because of the economy. But of course, we have to make sure we get these special funding deals in for some ridiculous moronic programs. Okay? Let's not help the president, because God forbid he'll get reelected again, which he will. Okay? But let's not help him. Let's make sure that we continue to be a hindrance for the next 6 months and hope that we can be enough to make him not get elected. Okay? That's, of course, their whole game plan, okay, which just tells you that why they keep Biden hidden in the basement, okay, because he's like a corpse, okay? So, but anyways, this week I do have a couple of things that, this is more of a potpourri. Neil Cavuto, the biggest name in Fox business, and, one of the biggest names, and he was their first big catch in the 90s when they got him, when they first came out. He was my dad's favorite, so this is kind of hard for me, okay? But he's a jackass, okay? I mean, here's a guy that continues to say on air that I am neutral, okay? I'm neutral. I have no political opinion. Meantime, all he did and all he does is bash Trump. Again, I don't care who you vote for. When we get back to another election, I will come on these airways and I will tell you, vote. I don't care who you vote for. That's the beauty of America. Listen, in my family, half of them voted left, the other half voted right, okay? So again, I'm not telling you I don't care who you vote for, and I don't want to be a political agent for one side or the other. I have my beliefs, which is really more center, but again, that's the story for another day. But I think President Trump is doing a great job. But again, you can disagree with it, but if you're a news guy, if you're a newscaster, okay, and you have an opinion, don't hide from your opinion. Say, this is my opinion, okay, versus, because again, he spent the entire week bashing everything the president did, okay, but after every sentence, but I am not biased, okay, I am, I have no opinion. Well, obviously you have an opinion because you spewed it out like a jackass all week, okay, so please, okay, we know you're a little bit left, and I don't care, like I said, I don't care. I have no interest on what side of the aisle you sit on, okay, report the news. Quit reporting your opinion and report the news. I think it's pretty simple, and that takes me to my good friend Stuart Varney, okay, that, they love to be sensational with their reporting, okay, as they tell you that they're there for you. They're there for ratings. So let's be clear. They're there for ratings, okay? They're not there for anything else but ratings, because at the end of the day, it comes down to what? Money, okay? So at the end of last week, Stuart Varney got on his high horse with crude oil's down at $18, $17. Oh, it's going terrible. In the meantime, crude oil was really at $25. They were talking about the expiring contract that has absolutely no value, okay? And a true fracker or driller could have been selling oil out 6 months from now at 40, okay? But we couldn't create the fear at 25 or 30. We could only create the potential fear to the dramatic effect of the economy if it was 18. So please, report the news properly and quit trying to direct human emotions based on some stupid report that you're dead wrong on, that you have no idea about. I mean, we know how little you know about the markets to begin with, okay? But again, if you're going to report on it, at least report accurately. It's embarrassing that you cannot report. And I did email and tweet him a couple of times that he was giving the wrong information. Never heard back, okay? And I know, okay? I mean, I talked to him. So in the meantime, let's get, again, I thought you were better at Fox Business than the other dopey networks, but apparently you're just, what they say, a wolf in sheep's clothing, whatever the words they say, that's all it is. In the meantime, everybody, I appreciate you being here. I know it's a rough time. Listen, even I'm getting stir crazy, and I don't like to go out that much to begin with. Okay. In the meantime, just stay healthy. Be careful in the markets. Again, there's nothing you can trade. You can invest. Just be careful. Don't try to be overactive. Stay healthy and have a great week. And we'll see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. In the meantime, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll get through it, and we will come out on top and better than before. In the meantime, we have to suffer through the crap for now. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. And of course, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.